My name is Dr. A.T. Kumararajah, the CEO of SEED Secretariat under Jabatan Perdana Menteri. Basically, SEED was actually established exactly about 4 years ago in the year 2012, primarily as a unit in charge of affirmation of Indian entrepreneurs. Because at that time there was the need for one of the unaddressed demands within the Indian ecosystem was actually entrepreneurship. So though there was a lot of push from outside civil society, including the chambers of commerce and political parties, there was not an institution within government ambit to actually push for Indian entrepreneurship development and empowerment story. So we modeled SEED after a unit called Traju, which is specific for Bhumiputra entrepreneurs, which was formed in February 2011, and we gave birth to SEED in 2012 August under the purview of Prime Minister's Department. And so far, over the last 4 years, not only we have kept to our initial objectives of empowering Indian entrepreneurs in terms of funding and facilitation, but we also moved on and expanded our role and footprint towards things like capacity building, transformational story, and also taking part in strategic intents in terms of moving forward the Indian entrepreneurs in this country. So far, we become the government's delivery partner. We have grown from a 3-man strong unit to about 30 odd staff, which we now house over 14 offices across the nation, especially in the western coast states, minus the states of Sabah, Sarawak and Kelantan, Terengganu. We at least have more than 1 to 3 offices in each state, with about another 12 offices sitting here at Putrajaya. Primarily funding facilitation of our earlier story, and we have so far until the month of September 2016 we have funded over close to 1.2 billion people, 1.2 billion ringgit to about 28,000 entrepreneurs. Out of this 28,000 entrepreneurs, 95% of them are actually micro businesses, which is about 27,000 people plus, and these 27,000 people plus have actually benefited close to 30% of the fund, whereas a large portion of the fund, which is 70% of the fund, has actually been benefited by a small segment of the community, which is about 5%. But these actually are the Indian SMEs, and these Indian SMEs have a higher capacity in terms of paying back, and they've also been able to execute larger projects. Many government agencies have actually played a very important role in terms of facilitation of these funds, especially the DFIs, the development finance institutions like SME Bank, which is our primary focus as far as SME funding is concerned, SME Corp, which has played a very important role as the central coordinating agency, MIDF, which is actually more centric towards manufacturing industries, then we've got Bank Pembangunan, then we have got Credit Guarantee Corporation, which has delivered quite a large number of the Indian loans over the last few years, because Credit Guarantee Corporation has actually been able to get guys who don't have the credit worthiness towards the commercial banks to be funded, and that has actually given rise to a large, fast-growing Indian SMEs. And events, initiations like this have actually given rise to the fact that a lot of large spur of Indian SMEs has actually happened over the last few years, and this actually bodes well for the larger ecosystem in Indian and the Malaysian SME ecosystem. I'm very pleased to have actually been extended this opportunity to become an advisor to this award committee, because I think this is the first time Yayasan Usahawan Malaysia has actually undertaken this initiative to actually start this SME and Entrepreneurship Business Award, and I think this is a step in the right direction as far as the Indian businesses go, because there has not been an award of this stature been initiated within the local or the domestic Indian SME context, and actually congratulate Yayasan Usahawan Malaysia to have undertaken this maiden attempt in putting together this award ceremony. And I feel it's not only a privilege but also a duty of the SEED Secretariat to be involved in this, because primarily, though we are set out in terms of funding and funding facilitation and capacity building within the Indian entrepreneurship community, we have also need to recognize some of the success stories, because if we recognize these benchmarks, then we know that how far or how much the Indian entrepreneurs, especially the young entrepreneurs, been able to aspire to. So I again congratulate them. They've done a great job in terms of putting together this award, and I wish them all the best in terms of going forward in this award, and also hopefully annualizing this event to a calendar event among the Indian business community. To my knowledge, I think that an award ceremony like this, or an award being given to a business like this, has got actually two-pronged benefit. One is to the enterprise, and one is to the entrepreneur. To the enterprise, it recognizes the enterprise's success within the particular sector or within the particular economy, or whether it's domestic or international. It gives recognition to the company in terms of a company which is basically the cream of the crop in terms of recognition. But to the entrepreneur, it recognizes his individual achievement, his individual capacity to have actually expanded beyond what's the norm. Because this award, as far as I understand, and also the direction we have taken, is this will recognize the best of the best. This is basically recognition of the first among equals, because we want to recognize the best run Indian SMEs in the context of Malaysia, and we want to recognize not only people who have done well within their sectors, but also people who have actually gone beyond the call of duty in terms of addressing some of the unmet demands within the industry. And I think many young Indian entrepreneurs or young Indian enterprises have actually done very well in this context, and they should be given this benefit. The other non-direct benefit of any award or business award in particular would be the benchmarks that we set, because if we could actually set a particular benchmark in terms of companies should attain, then there will be other growing companies which could aspire to actually come up to this level or even surpass these levels in the future. And I think we have seen this do in the context of our other Malaysian brothers, like the Chinese business community. There are award ceremonies like the Golden Eagle Award, which is run over the last 14 years in stretch, and they have year in year out has been able to turn out many winners, and these winners have gone on to achieve far higher success rates, both in terms of their community and also as a nation. And I think these awards not only spur us to within our Indian context, but as a national agenda, it's a very important step in the right direction. The other benefit that we as the Seat Secretariat under the Prime Minister's Department has promised Yayasan Usahawan Malaysia and also the SME Entrepreneurship Business Award is the fact that the winners and also the contestants here will be actually given access to some of the areas which have been traditionally or perceptually have been where Indian participation has been very low, and that we being a government entity or being within the system are able to penetrate some of these markets and systems which may not have been possible if they tried them on an individual basis. For that, that's my assurance, and that's what I bring to the table in terms of as an organization, we will definitely give access to these winners into the system for them to be able to benefit from a lot of the government initiatives and policies and programs that have been actually spelled out. And the other specific benefit will be actually towards the young Indian entrepreneurs, because there is a very sizable number of young Indian entrepreneurs, especially in the last couple of years, who have actually come on to do things beyond the Indian context, and I think those young gentlemen or young ladies must actually be recognized. And I think there are many benefits within the government which are largely untapped, especially by our community. And I think it's high time that we start thinking not only within the Indian context but also as a Malaysian context, and these companies will actually bode very well to go on to explore some of these opportunities, and God willing, most of them will be able to do very well given these chances, and this access which has been traditionally denied or incidentally been left out are something that we bring to the table, and we promise the event organizers and Yayasan Usahawan Malaysia in terms of delivering this end from our side.